Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time I kinda got the main gist of the body proportions and stuff done. I think they're mostly looking okay. I'm not sure if the nose is in the right place. I'm gonna be checking that, but before I even get into any of that, this composition is way too crowded. Like, extremely. And there's a lot happening. It feels very cramped. And that's why I called this episode Claustrophobia, because that's what I felt like when I looked at it this morning. Just like, dang! A lot of stuff squeezing everywhere and vying for attention. I gotta fix that. So that is what I will be doing first. And I think it'll be pretty easy. I'm not particularly concerned. Alright, so first thing I wanted to do... Yes. I actually... I have the trees in my fence group. Okay, oh yeah, because I wanted to blur them too. Oh, that's fine. We'll just take them out for a little bit. Okay. Anywho, so I'm actually gonna make these bigger, which may seem counterintuitive, but just stay with me here. Gonna make them even larger. And from there, I should be able to do some cool stuff. Anyway, hello. It is October 1st, which means that Inktober has started. And I finished my picture for it this morning, but I have not posted it yet. I didn't have a chance to make the time lapse before stream, so I'll have to do that after stream. So I will post my image then. And I think it's pretty cute, so I am looking forward to posting it. And just a reminder, I should probably actually pin the announcement I made on Twitter, but if you would like to share your Inktober stuff with the community, use the tag Planckera, and so that this way we can easily find it. And I will be sure to take a look at all the ones posted. I'm honestly kind of looking forward to doing so. I haven't really had a chance to actually look at what people have been drawing very much lately. I was like... recently I was like, you know, maybe I should actually make it easy for people to share their own art. So this way it's less me just, you know, rambling about whatever I happen to be doing at the moment. And we can all actually do some stuff together and see what everyone's doing and all that kind of fantastic stuff. So that's the hope there for me. So if you would like to share your stuff, I would love to see it. So just, you know, put it in a place where I'll find it. I will be checking that tag on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. And frankly, if there's somewhere else you want me to check, you know what? Just tell me. And I'll see what I can do. What is going on here? Okay, here, guys. Okay. It's just being a little slow. Let me turn off the filter and see if that makes it go a little faster. Nope. Okay, so... Krita is concerned about my rampant use of the transform tool and filter layers. I don't blame it. Filter layers do tend to run a bit slow sometimes. I just kind of wanted to squish it. But why is the filter layer not applying to the whole thing? Do I just need to remake it? That's fine. I can do that. I don't feel like I should have to, but, you know, it's fine. Gaussian blur, please. There we go. And I'll just let it go all the way. There we go. And I'm just kind of hoping that this will help everything look a little bit less cramped and still add the depth to the scene that I want. That's the hope here, and these ones in the front will probably end up being a little bit darker as well, but I don't really want to do that yet. Okay, and once again, Krita's complaining that I'm using a bunch of filter layers, or, you know, even just one filter layer, but it's a really strong blur, so that does confuse it a little, along with everything else. Okay, and I still don't really like this branch by her head, so now I guess I'll start arranging the trees a little bit. But I think the fence posts look better now. What I think I'm going to do with this is, once again, it's going to get bigger. I still want part of it overlapping her head. I do think that is necessary, but I want to do it a little better here. Just in a way so that hopefully it looks a little bit less cramped. I don't know, that still looks pretty cramped. I might just need to draw this layer again. What should I do with you? Okay. Where's my rainbow anyway? Oh, why did you get kicked out? Are you just being hit hard by the blur or something? I didn't think the blur would apply there. Didn't I put the blur just in the fence? Oh, okay. The rainbow got put in the fence group. That explains why you can't see it. So I'll take it out. It's still not showing up. Yes, because it got transformed to death when I was doing all that stuff with the fence. Because they were in the same group. Well, that's unfortunate! That's okay. That'll be... This is still just placeholder, so it's fine. I'll just let it do its glorious placeholder thing over here and try to fix it as best I can here. Okay. There we go. That is some nice placeholder rainbow. But I need to be able to see it, just so that this way I can make sure that the composition is working. So, I can't just ignore it completely. I gotta make sure that it's in here correctly and that it's covering the places that I roughly want it to cover. And that kind of thing. Alright. And I think in terms of crowding, I do need a little bit more space on the right here. So I'm gonna alter my canvas size. Where are you? So I guess I'll just give myself another 500. Okay. So now I need to adjust some of my background elements. I think it should be fine if I just stretch my noise layer that I'm using to represent rain. Yeah. And then some other stuff is going to have to get drawn. Looks like I'm going to have to remake that filter, that blur filter again. Oh well. Life is hard. Okay, where was I? The trees I can just kill for now. But it's okay, you know, getting the composition right it's all really important. So, it's worth taking a little bit of time there. The good news is that you know, I've been staring at this for a little while and I haven't really felt like her proportions are off, so I should just be able to go in and render her once I'm satisfied. At most, eyes might still be a little bit big. I don't know. She is a very cute type, so I might just let her eyes be a little bit big. We'll see. Okay, and that should be fine. At some point, I'll make these go, like, all the way into the ground, or have some, like, foreground grass or something covering the bottom. I don't know which yet. It's not really important right now, so... right now, they can just be spooky, floating ghost posts. It's fine. It's October, so I can just call it Halloween. Oh my... lazy placeholder's Halloween related. Heck yeah. Okay, where's, like, my light? You need to come over here a little bit, too. Actually, I guess you're fine where you are. Okay, cool. That is convenient. Humu humu. Yeah, right now I'm not really going to focus on perfecting everything in the background or anything yet. I just want to make sure that I get the feeling that I want while making things not super duper crowded feeling. I really do feel like I need some trees in the foreground though. How am I going to do that without just feeling crowded and claustrophobic and other things that I really don't want to be in my picture? Maybe I should just move her a little bit to the right. Make her slightly more central. And then I might have some room for some trees. And maybe they will not look quite as, I don't know, stifling or bunched up. We'll see. I actually kind of want this one to cover up the fence post, too. And I do not really want this to be parallel with her hair, so I'm gonna bend it, like, super hard right there. This one needs to come further out this way, absolutely. I don't want it to be the same length as this one, so it needs to, like, be all the way out here. These are still mirrored a little bit too hard. I hate it. Let me see if I can explain why I hate it. I think it's intuition and taste. But, just right now, I just feel like it's framing her a little bit too perfectly. So I have this part coming down and this part coming up. And... I don't know. It feels awkward. It feels weird. I don't like it. So I'll fix that, and I definitely need something going on over here. Oh, the blur filter's not working over there. Okay, I better fix that then. I can do that first. There. And I don't want it to completely cover the red part of the rainbow. So I'm actually gonna... Nope, not the whole thing, that's right. I forgot, I'm doing this all on the same layer. I'm gonna turn off the blur filter for a second while I move this because, holy cow, it is just lagging the whole thing. Pain. I'm not used to Krita lagging for me this much, even when I use filter layers, so not sure what's up with that. My computer is very strong, so I'm not used to having technical difficulties with any of these things. Good lord. But to be fair, I rarely use like 100% blur on anything as well. Come on, back up. Okay, there you go. I'll give you a little bit of rendering rest here. I can't let this one go this far out, though. And I don't want this to be following the angle of her coat, so it kind of has to go up. If I send it down... I guess that's fine. We'll let it kind of get lost in the code, I suppose. Okay, that might be okay. I don't know if I like this little branch covering her face there. I think I might just let a little one come out here instead. And I think this just needs a little bit of a different angle. No, I definitely want a little bit showing at the top. I actually think that's important. And then I think this one looks more like a tiny, tiny tree as opposed to a branch. So I'm actually gonna pull its angle a little bit more sharply here. Maybe something a little bit more like that. And this still feels very symmetrical, so I think I'm gonna get rid of the one here. No, I'm gonna get rid of the one here. I changed my mind. I'm gonna let it be like this. Okay, how does that look with the blur? Okay, this feels a little bit better. This no longer feels super claustrophobic to me, just, maybe a little bit cramped. But I think that kind of feeling makes sense to a degree. So I changed my mind. I don't like this branch. I want the rainbow to be more visible, so I'm just gonna add a few extra twigs down here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm satisfied. I think I have made it feel a little bit less cramped, and I think that everything will also look better once I light some stuff in the background. Like, right now all these trees, for example, are the same color. And when it comes time to do that, I'm gonna kind of make them fade into the background more, and various things like this. It's just, you know, I haven't drawn everything yet. But I see more little things in my head. But I think I can just go and start rendering Ririsya. Let's go do that. I think her eyes might be a little bit big though, so I will go ahead and make them just a little tiny bit smaller. How do I feel about that? It's the eternal battle with anime eyes, figuring out how big is too big. I think this looks okay. Let me see. How do I feel about your nose? I don't know. The nose still feels a little bit high. I'm kind of trying to imitate what's going on in her design here, but to be fair, she has a dot nose and I do not. So I'll draw the nose a little bit more how I'm accustomed. So a little bit high just to make her face look a little squishier and cuter, but otherwise more down there. But otherwise, I think that this is all good. Just thinking about it for a second here. Yeah, I think I like it. And I could potentially even make the umbrella an opaque color if I want. I'm not sure what color I'd use, though. Because at this point, it's more shoved off to the corner now that I have a little bit more space over on the right here. I don't actually think purple would look very good with her hair. And that was kind of my first instinct. Let's do some experimenting. Sounds good to me. So how do I have this structured anyway? I don't know. I'll keep this and just select it and try some purple. Yeah, I figured that would happen, but now I know where the edges are and I can just color it in. Yeah, just the purple doesn't look very good with her hair. And I don't know what other color to use because any other color I feel like would disrupt the color minimalism here. Because even if I use something like the color I'm using for the light, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'll stick with the clear umbrella. I just wanted to see that real quick, and then I could draw little raindrops blinking off of it, and it'll be cute. All right. I think it's time to render some hair. Let's go. So first things first, I see some spots where those adjustments that I made, where the head color is kind of peeking through here. So I'm just gonna make sure all that's good, and then after that, I have to kind of wrangle this side of her hair. And the way I think I'm going to do that is I am going to kill what I have and use another layer. I just don't like what's there. I do want to get the general gist of the hair before I start shading everything. Because I do think that's important. Let's see, what does your hair actually look like here? So normally it would sweep down kind of like this. But she is a turn-in. So I kind of want it to flutter a little bit more. I do want it to be hitting the side of her head like it normally would. I think that's important. So I'll do this kind of shape. Where then I can let it kind of flutter out that way. And the reason I say that I think it's important that it hits the side of her face in about the same way is that kind of thing is actually kind of important for recognizability in the anime girls. Because so much of them is defined by hair shapes and how the hair frames their face. So if it's framing the face a little differently, sometimes it'll look a little bit weird and not necessarily like the girl that I'm trying to draw. So I guess I'll poke at that a little bit. And I just remembered that I hit 100 followers on Twitter recently, so thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the support. I am doing my best. And so I hope you'll continue to enjoy all the art that I post, and I hope that you enjoy Inktober, where I will be posting every day. I'm hoping to be able to post every day in the future more. It's just right now I'm not quite fast enough. I'm willing to do it for a challenge, but every day I think I would die. Every day forever, that is. So, I'm working on it. I'm working on improving my speed, and hopefully being able to get things to the point where I feel like I could comfortably post every day. But for now, I hope that you will enjoy this month of daily art. I think I will, so I'm looking forward to it quite a lot. This is exactly why I want to be fast enough to be able to do even more daily art posting. It's like, heck yeah, I get to post art every day. Like, why wouldn't I want to do that? Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then on the hair end, I need to pull back these bangs a little, I think. They're sticking out just a little bit much. But I will let them flutter too. And they can do pretty things like this. I'll extend a little bit beyond here. I will probably connect them a little bit more strongly when it's convenient to do so. But I think that this is fine for a start. Seems okay to me. So, I'm gonna go start defining the outer edges of the hair here. I'm not gonna do a lot with strands. I know I just did a lot here, but that's just because I was like, okay, is this fluttering enough? Am I having it stick too close to her face? And various thoughts like that. So I had to make sure that what I was doing was working. But I no longer have to do that, so it should all be good. Alright, just had a little itch on my back there, but now all is well. Okay, so now I'm kind of going in, and I'm looking at her hair here. So this is going to be the center strand right there, and I'm trying to kind of match what's drawn there. So her bangs are pretty blunt. So I'm just trying to match that and make sure that her hair is still interesting to look at. And then I'm putting all the big gaps in the right places, and don't mind that there's no purple in the hair yet, that'll come later. I think I'm going to go for a harder shading style for this one. I went back and forth on how I should shade this, but I think that's what I will do for this one. And right now I do feel like my strands are a little bit pointy, so I will be flattening them out just a little bit as I go on. But for now, I just kind of want to get those big clumps in. So you can see I started with the big shape that made her hair look kind of like a helmet. Because that was how I was defining the hair for a while. And now I'm kind of going in for the tips. And starting to figure out where some of those big and small gaps are. So I did the big shape, and now I'm kind of going into the medium shapes. And to an extent, I'm also getting some of the small ones just because Well, I did it for this one. Just this one for now, because I wanted to get a feel for what it would look like in the end. And I couldn't really do that without putting in a little bit of detail. So. Did you notice? Still not zoomed into 100%. I'm just at 50. The zoom will come later. Okay. And then down here, they're not really blunt. The hair's not really blunt anymore, so I can kind of just do gentler curves. And have them taper out into vaguely triangular strands of hair at the bottom here. Not overly concerned about getting things smooth yet. It's fine. I think whatever I do for the time being is okay. Okay, so I think something like that should work. Probably with some, like, loose strands coming out there when the time comes, but it is not yet time for loose strands. I like to do that near the end. Sometimes I'll put some in before shading, but definitely not at the point where I'm just defining some of my larger shapes here. Okay. And then for the hair coming out this way, I want to be zoomed out a little bit more. This way I can see the whole thing. And I think that this mostly looks good. I'm going to make this bit kind of combined together. And I think I'm going to make this bit shorter. I think he was a bit long. And I think with just a few loose strands here and there, this will look very nice. So I think that's fine for just big shape. This layer, I'm going to invert for a little while. She will have a temporary white hair. It's fine. What are you? Are you just a spot where I didn't draw the umbrella properly? No, you are the white ribbon. That's right. Where the heck did I put that ribbon? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. It wasn't with my head layer, so I got confused for a second. I'm gonna hide it for just a little while here. While I am focused on hair. So what are you then? Are you a piece of the head? Sure are. Okay. Okay, and I think this is fine. So, until I go in and kind of start perfecting everything, I'm going to leave it like that. And I want to get the parts of the hair that are black now first. I'm just kind of defining the path that the hair on this side will take. And that will be the extent of what I do there. I see that I have a little bit of extra head sticking out here. There we go. Cool. Alright, I think that the hair on this side could use just a little bit more volume. I don't know, do I want a loose one going there? I think I do. There will be more hair like this later. But I needed this one just to make sure that what I was doing is working. Okay, I'm happy. Let's smooth it all out. Actually, before I do too much smoothing, I'm gonna start plopping in some shadows. Just so that this way I know where my clumps of hair are and I can draw them out accordingly. Actually, I think I want you on top. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understand the structure of the hair I just drew and all that good stuff. And I actually think that there should probably be like a little bit more bang right here. So I'm gonna draw that as well. Let this guy stick out just a little bit there. A little lower. Okay. There we go. So that should blend in with the rest of her hair a little bit better. Most of this is fine. Where all of the dark parts are gonna be is pretty clear to me. Okay, and then we should be able to let the light hit just over here very strongly. I'll have a highlight going to kind of like this later. And naturally to be a highlight, not the shadow. Okay. So with this, I think I can start defining the outer edge. I always like doing the hair that's going to be sitting on top here first. Let me hide her eyes for a little bit since they are roughly the same color and I want this to be clean. But I just like doing the things that will be sitting on top first. Because then I know which things underneath I have to care about. Like, you can kind of see that if I turn her eyes back on, her eyebrows are almost entirely covered by hair here. So I know when it comes time to render her eyes and eyebrows, that I don't really have to care about the eyebrows very much. I know which areas will need detail and which areas will not. So it just saves me a little bit of time, I think, to get the things in the very front. Just doing the exact opposite of traditional painters here. So at this point, I do care about the small shapes. Because this, what I'm doing now, is going to be getting the hair into its final form. I am going in and rendering everything. So ideally, when I'm finished here, this should be what the hair looks like at the end. And I should not have to make any further changes. Sometimes I have to. And if I have to, I will. But the ideal is I finish the hair here and never touch it again. So yeah, I do want to be zoomed into 100% now. I don't want to get too fine on the hair details here. But I do want to make sure that this looks like hair. So there will be a little bit. I actually like that strand that's coming out there, but it's a little bit too messy. So I'm going to clean up this part and then put it back in once this is all looking just a little bit better here. But I want to get over here nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. hair I always find to be one of the most time-consuming parts of drawing for me. But I like to take my time on it. And my hair looks nice. So I like to make sure that whatever I draw looks really nice too. Just gotta get that extra smooth, extra pretty. And I might add a few loose strands here and there, but I'm gonna do my best not to go overboard and mostly add them in at the end. It can be hard to resist, though. But I must. It is not yet time. And everything will just look so much better if I do it when it is time. So for this one, I'm definitely going to want the hair highlights on a separate layer, because what I think I'm going to do is have them do a bunch of reflecting of the rainbow light too. That should make it look really nice. This is one of the reasons I really liked her design. Just the color scheme is amazing. With the very neutral bits and just that little bit of purple to make things pop. It's fantastic. Completely fantastic. It's wonderful. I love it so much. I like to draw stuff like that, and with it being Inktober and me wanting to draw things very quickly, you're going to be seeing a lot more minimalist styled things this month. So you'll see some of that. In fact, my drawing for today has that, where everything is black and white except for her eyes, which are blue. So I just used that one little pop of color. If I had more time to compose a real composition, I might have used other colors too, but I have to do Inktober drawings very, very quickly. I have like an hour or two at most to draw them. Oh, there's something black in the background, huh? Probably the coat. Alright, coat. You're being inverted. Oh, it's not the... What the heck is that? What is interfering with my ability to draw hair? Probably back hair then, right? And then probably coat. Okay, we're good. I need to see what I'm doing. Even if these colors do kind of blend in together, I want to make sure that the hair is properly defined so I don't end up with mysterious circumstances and like, huh, why is this not drawing? Because there just happens to be opaque pixels on top of it. Okay, I gotta stop being naughty and not add more loose strands than this. Gotta stop. It's always very tempting, but I must stop. I just also want to make sure that these flat bits of bang here still look sufficiently hair-like. Very important. Okay. So that is most of the tips of the bangs, which is going to be the most detailed part. So I think once I'm through here, things should speed up a little bit, but I don't know. Rendering's always slow. It is what it is. Because I just want to make sure everything's nice. And right now, I'm just getting everything towards what the picture will look like at the end, and it just takes some time. And as always, when it comes to stuff around the face, I don't mess around. I try to get things as perfect as possible. Because the face, in pictures that have a face, well, it's the most important part. Especially since I am drawing a girl, and thus, and my focal point is the girl. Having the face right is like especially important there, because that's where I want people to look. I'm going to be doing everything I can to draw the viewer's attention to her cute face. And thus, the face must look good. And the hair is a part of the face. It is sitting there right around the eyes. So, it's important to get right. And that's why I'm making sure that this side of her hair looks very smooth. Because anything that looks wrong here will be distracting. It will lessen the quality of the image. I'm not sure what this black thing in the background is. I think it's probably a tree. But it doesn't especially matter. And that's why I'm using the shadow color here instead of the normal color, because I want to make sure that I can see the difference. When it comes time to shade it, I'm going to use whatever color I think is appropriate. And this will not smooth for some reason. Oh yeah, I'll use whatever color I think is appropriate, but this is fine for now. I am mostly concerned with the exterior for now, and right here just feels so blobby. That's why I keep going over it. For some reason, it just does not want to smooth. I blame my shaky hand, personally. Just gotta compensate for my personal lack of dexterity. Okay. There we go. I think that is looking pretty good. All right. So I'm going to go over these again here. I see that there's a few points that are still looking a little bit blobby. And like I said, when it comes to the face, I don't mess around. I want to get everything just right. So I'll be spending a little bit of time making sure that all of this is indeed how I want it to be. Just all the way through. No blobs allowed. Okay. So now I think it's time to go do the bangs going that way. And I'll start going around the other side of her head. Did the easier side first. Actually, I think this one already looks pretty good, so I'm not gonna fix it. I think it is just fine. So on the subject of creative challenges, I saw that NaNoWriMo, the organization at least, shut down. Which is unfortunate, but not unsurprising considering some of the stuff I heard. And, it's a little bit sad. But I'll probably still do the challenge just on my own. Try to get those 50,000 words in November. I'm going to let myself count everything that I do in October. So, whatever writing I do, it just... By the end of November, I think I would like to have 50,000 words of my comic script kind of worked out. So, I'm gonna have a busy next couple of months. It's gonna be great. I'm actually kind of excited. But so far, it's all been going well, so I'm actually feeling confident that I can get those 50,000 words in, and hopefully that'll be enough to let me actually finish the first draft of my script there. And I do encourage anyone that's an aspiring writer to join me. I'll see if I can find any other communities that are doing it. I'm not super big on community aspect for this stuff, but just in the sense that I'm not really paying that much attention. But I figure it'd be a good idea to get involved a little bit more. Stop being so dang shy about things. Hehe. I don't know if I'll actually post any of my writing, though. That I might let myself be a little bit shy on, since this is a first draft. And I think that if I tell myself I'm going to post it, I will start being worried about how things sound, as opposed to just getting my ideas down. Getting a better feel for the story, and how I want things to happen. So I think I gotta do that for the first draft here, so it'll probably just be for me. Maybe someday in the future I will feel a little bit more comfortable posting the stuff that I don't think is necessarily very good. But I have never really written stuff on my own, so I want to make sure that I can actually get to the editing phase. And take whatever I write here and make it actually good. The bangs on this side are too short. I thought that this was a bit of a weird gap. Okay. Well, that's not that hard of a fix. Oh no, did I have a random blob there? Well, oh well, it's fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this entire chunk here. I'm gonna be a little bit more selective here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna pull the whole thing down, and then I will fill in the rest. Actually, I should turn her eyes on for this. I don't have to get rid of the selection. But this will kind of help me determine where they should be. And if I need to move just this part down, or if I should move this part up too. And it does indeed look like this part needs to move up as well. Okay. And that shouldn't affect anything that I drew. I just need to fill in the gaps here. And that is easy, because I didn't use any transforms. I just moved it. I just moved it. So the only bit that I really have to be concerned with is right here. The rest should still be just as smooth as how I left it. I guess if I see some mistakes, I'll go ahead and fill them in. Okay, and then I still feel like right here, this is a little bit too short relative to everything else. So, actually, I think its length is perfect relative to the eyes. That tells me that once again, I need to move this side up a little. Just a little. I want to make sure that things line up well. Why are you not moving? Okay, there it goes. Okay. So I think that should look pretty good. Why are you not going away? I do not know what is up with Krita lately. But it is not letting the shadow go away. Oh, I see. It was just struggling to autosave for some reason. What the heck? I would like to deselect now, please. Why is my shortcut not working? Okay, I'll do it manually. That was awkward. I'm not sure what was up with that, but hopefully it'll be okay, because I was having a little bit of trouble moving the thing, and then it would not let me deselect. How awkward. I've been using this program for years, and I have not really run into trouble, and I just updated it the other day. I don't know what's wrong. It really has only been recently that I've started having some trouble. Okay. Well, regardless, I think I got that fairly smooth there, so I will smooth out here now. And that should fix all of that, and now her bank should all be roughly the same length. Just gotta steady my hand a little bit. Alright. Gonna zoom out and take a look. But yeah, that looks much more like the same length. I don't mind there being a little bit of variance, because, I mean, her bangs are blowing in the wind. Some might be a little more foreshortened than others. It's all good. Alright. So next, we got this clump going down here. And some of the longer strands here. So I will do my best to get those nice and smooth now as well. And because this little bit of hair that it's currently white that I have on the other layer is also on top of the face, I will smooth him out before I start rendering the whole thing. I want to know where my lights and shadows are all going to go. And then I can get in and get everything just right. Unfortunately, I drew all the stuff down here pretty well the first time, so I don't actually have that much smoothing to do. Just a little bit at the tips where things got just a little bit blobby. Just a little bit. And for here, with the way it was here, it kind of looked like this bit was going in and kind of combining with this one. So I'm making it a little bit longer so that it looks like its own strand. This way it can be its own strand instead of piggybacking off of the bigger one right next to it. I'll even let it go a slightly different direction. Just very, very slight. But I do think about these things while I'm constructing strands, so if it ever looks like I'm just spending a long time getting the way these strands face and taper and all of that just right, there is a reason for it. I do think it helps. A lot of the time I won't go this hard, but it's fine. I just didn't like the way that this guy looked, so I wanted to give him a little bit more attention. Okay. And now I can just get into the rest of these. I don't think most of these look bad or anything, but they are a little bit blurry around the edge. So I'm just kind of going over the edge real quick. And once again, making sure that it tapers off into a lovely little triangle. The lovely little triangle is also very important, so I do like to make sure that it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. Give him a little strand too, why not? Okay. And this guy was tapering into more of a needle than a nice triangle, so I gotta fix that. Very important. Alright, and I think that looks pretty good. So now I just gotta care about these parts going back up. Oh yeah, and this guy here. This small gap that I put in. I think the gap looks good, so I'm going to just kind of clean up the edge of it. It was a little bit blurry from all my resizing. There we go. Okay, now for this curve. I do try to do these in one stroke when I'm able to. I do think it makes things a little bit smoother. But I am not always able to, so I just do my best. Fortunately, it looks like today I was mostly able to. Okay. So there we go. I think that's good for the edge there. So let's go ahead and do the edge for this part here. And then I can start lighting it. I can get all of the shadows in as opposed to, you know, just a lot of my little placeholder ones there. And where my lovely little specular highlights are going to go. I am looking forward to those. Those are going to look so good with all the rainbows, man. I am so excited to get into the lighting portion of this one. I'm going to have so much fun playing with those rainbows. Let me see. I actually kind of want her eyes back on screen for this, just to make sure that this isn't covering them too much. And that once again, things are kind of flowing the way I think they should. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Buh. All right. So far, so good. So I do think that I will fully render things before I go and add loose strands. I'll just do all that at the end. When I do it varies, but I think that makes sense for this one. I do. I think that should be the right way to do it here. Okay. So there we go. That's all of her hair. Let's start getting the lit up bits here. Which will be most of it. I was just drawing it in the shadow color because it made sense for me to do so. Okay, there we go. Little shadow up through here. And a little one up through here. Okay. Alright, and there we go. I think that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and kind of darken the tips there. Let's go ahead and fix up some of this stuff here. Oh. Gotta get in the right layer. That's important. I don't really want to merge these two together, so I will do it like this. So the big thing that I want to make sure I emphasize with these shadows here is that her hair is kind of blowing to the side here. So there we go. And I'm also trying to make sure that it kind of follows where I put the gaps. So the bigger the gap, the bigger the shadow spike coming out of the hair. And right now I think that they're all kind of too similarly sized. So I'm going to put in some bigger ones and some thinner ones, and that should help that feeling. And I'll just go all the way through. I'm going to focus mostly on the bangs for now. Try to get a little bit more variation in there. I don't want all the shadows to be the same size. That would just make the hair look a little bit monotonous and boring and not very fluffy at all. So I gotta vary up the size here. And right now I am just not happy with that variance. I want them all to be like different lengths, different widths, and just have a lot more going on. Okay, I think that's a reasonable start. And then here, I want it to be dark going up there. Just a little gap like this for that shadow. Over here, I think I'll have another shadow kind of coming down here. Just to kind of emphasize the end there. And this one here, I actually think I want this one to be shorter because this is actually like directly facing the light source. I forgot that the light source is actually over here, so very, very important to remember where your light source is. Otherwise your lighting will get a little bit wonky. And so even though this is technically the side facing the light source, I think it looks better for the shadow to be on this side than the other side in this particular case. As for why... Man, why does it? I think it's just because of the way, of the direction that the hair is going. Like when I think about if I were to turn the hair into a cube, it would be facing this way. Yeah, so if I turn this hair into a cube, it'd be like this. Actually, probably a little bit more like this. Just, you know, actually in perspective and not badly drawn. But, yeah, so I just see right here as like a separate plane. And I could technically use a highlight for that, but I think this works just fine. It makes sense to me in my head, so I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, so I think that should be pretty good once I render it all. Add a few more little strands here and up here. But yeah, otherwise I'm pretty satisfied with that. So I'll go and do the same thing here. Just get all those little shadows in there. You did not get very smooth. Let's fix that. There is this horrible, horrible little blob there. Occasionally I do miss things. With as much hair as anime girls have, it's only natural. Okay. But it's alright. I can just go back and fix it as I notice it. Okay. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and group these. So that this way I can start getting the highlights on. So let's see, just due to the color that I'm using for the light here, it's a, a nice light blue. I think I actually have it saved on a swatch here. I'm going to use that as kind of my base for figuring out what color the hair highlight should be. I always tend to make them a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna try to make them lighter than usual. Maybe not quite to just a pure white, but... definitely more in that realm than I normally would. Okay. So I'm going to somewhere around here. We'll see how much I change it. I almost always do. So I'm just gonna drop in some vaguely N and triangular shaped marks. Sometimes V. A V is also another great shape for it. And I'll be favoring kind of the right side here. So they'll get a little bit longer as they kind of come down here. And then I think I want another group over here. And once again, I don't want them to all be like the same length and width and all that. I want to vary it up a little. It just looks boring when they all look the same. And I'm not worried about being messy right now. I can be as messy as I want for the moment. Everything will get cleaned up a little bit later. Okay, and I do think that there will be a few over on this side too, but this side won't have as many. Alright, and indeed, I do think I will change the color of them just a little. I'm going to tone down the saturation just a bit. Hello there, hello there again, Light, Fix. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely day. Okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I think I can go in and start cleaning from here. And we'll see if I still like that color when I zoom back out. After doing all the cleaning. Okay. I will try to remember that. Sorry, I tend to be a little bit bad with names. Okay. So I kind of like where all this is going, so I'm just zooming in here, and I'm just gonna smooth out what I've already drawn, more or less. And if there are some spots where I feel like my shadows and highlights are too samey, I can zoom out and fix them a little. Whatever works. And I think I'm still going to hide her eyes, just so I know where the ends of her hair actually are. The eyelashes are about the same color, so they kind of get lost. I don't mind them getting a little bit lost, but I want to make sure that my shading job here is good. And I will worry about the eye parts as I get there. Since those are partially covered by hair, they will require a bit less attention than usual. All right. So once again, just gonna slowly go through everything. But here's hoping that I will get to draw some of her face today. That would be very exciting. I really would love to do that today. I just like to do the hair first because it's sitting on top. And it makes things a little bit more convenient for me. So since I'm doing more of a hard shading style for this one, certain parts of it might end up soft, but for the most part, going for more of the hard shade. I'm a little bit more particular about the shape of the shadows than I would be otherwise. It's like, for example, while I've been drawing Rooney on stream, the other image that I've been working on, I let myself be a lot more loose with that. And I will generally leave my shadows a little bit messy. Just a little bit messy. And, you know, it's fine because they're going to get blended together. But in this case, they will not be getting blended together. So I want to be a little bit... I don't like that, actually. So I want to be a little bit more precise. Actually, more than a little bit. A lot more precise. But I do think that the result is worth it. It will look very nice when the time comes. But as always, hair rendering is slow. It's very slow. There's always a lot of hair, and it requires a bit of extra stuff going into it. Just because I need to make sure that all the strands are shaded nicely, all the clumps. And that all these shapes are properly designed and looking nice and smooth. So it takes a little while. So we're gonna be here for a bit, but don't worry, it'll look great in the end. Look forward to it. As you can see here, I'm trying to vary up the length and width of these shadows to make them look a little bit more interesting. So I do like to think about all that. It does help. It does. It helps a lot. Makes everything look a little bit more organic as opposed to just perfectly manufactured. Because hair doesn't look perfectly manufactured. It's got all sorts of stuff going on. It's got all sorts of stuff going on. So I just like to represent that variance as best I can. So this one I'm making pretty thick. Since a lot of the other ones nearby were a little bit thinner. Trying to do as much as I can in one stroke. And then moving on to the next one. And I'll be doing that just all the way across. And I'm paying attention to where all these various parts of my hair are kind of coming down and where my gaps are. That's a good spot to put little shadows. And a good reference for how to shape them. Hello there, Beanie. Welcome back. Okay, and so this is the one where it's overlapping everything a little, so I will draw that particularly. Got to reconstruct him a little bit. He got a little bit buried while I was putting all the shadows in. This one I'm making shorter because it was about the same length as this one and it was bothering me, so gotta vary that a little bit. Oh, congrats! It can be nice when your obligations are easy. Saves more brain energy to do more exciting things. Okay. Oh. I can't say I blame them entirely. I don't think I ever cried at school, but I wanted to sometimes. Okay. So let's see. These ones actually look pretty alright, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And why is there a random dent in the hair right here? Let's buff that out. There we go. Okay, yeah, don't want random dents. That's no good for hair. Okay. What are you actually looking like here? So that's about the first half of the bangs there. I guess I'm going this way this time. It's fine. I'm cool with that. Whatever my brain feels like doing, I guess. Did I never... I did not smooth you out when I was going over the hair. I should do that. Right here looking a little bit blurry. I'll have to redraw that shadow, but that's fine. It's like I'm always particular about things looking blurry, but especially when I'm doing a more of a style with hard shading, I'm even more particular about it. cannot have blurriness here. It just does not work with the super smooth shading. It's terrible. So I'll just take this strand very slowly. Make sure it is all smoothed out in a way that makes me happy. There we go. I don't know. I like shading. Rendering is fun. Okay. There we go. Let's get that back in there. I'd go as far as saying is my entire process of shading, beginning to end. I mean, because I don't draw lines. Yeah, but it makes everything look so nice. All right. Hair, just the most time-consuming part for me. I'm very particular about the way it looks. So, it takes me a little while to get through it all. Especially at anime girls who have like 50 pounds of hair. Any anime is gonna have just a ridiculous amount of hair. Okay, that's pretty alright. Let's see here. I think I probably want more of a highlight coming down here, though. Boop. Boop. Okay. Oh god, Miko has tons of hair. If that amount of hair was on a real person, I think that person would have their skull caved in. I don't know if they could take it. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. That's looking better. Alright, let's get this smoothed. And I think I changed my mind on how I want this to be structured here, so let's just get a little bit more smoothness in there. There we go. Okay. My nose is just extremely itchy for some reason, and it keeps bothering me. Life is hard. I don't know why my nose just keeps perpetually getting extremely itchy whenever I stream, but it keeps happening. It is the weirdest thing. Only when I stream. So, do you plan on doing Inktober? I've done my drawing, I just haven't uploaded it yet because I want to make the time-lapse video for it. And I want to release them both at the same time. So I'll be doing that after stream. Alas. Well, the first isn't done yet. You got time. You can do like a 10-minute drawing while I work on this drawing if you want. Just draw a silly mustache. Better than not trying at all. Ugh, no, that's no good. Okay, let's try that again. Yes, I want you at this angle. That makes way more sense with how I did the outline. There we go. That's better. That is so much better. Okay. So yeah, now I guess I just gotta smooth out the rest coming up here. Long stretches of largely straight line, truly the bane of my existence. At least this isn't actually a line. At least I'm not drawing trim. So this isn't quite as bad. Oh ho! Sounds fantastic. If you upload it to the internet and use the hashtag Planckera Inc., then I will look at it later today when I have time. I really do hope that people remember to post to that, because I would really love to see what people make here. I just want to see all the things. And unfortunately with YouTube, like, censoring links, I mean, I don't blame them. I know what would happen if they didn't. It's made it hard for me to actually look at what other people have been drawing, and it's made me a little sad. Hold on. Let me... what about the color of my Vtuber model? It is black and blue, and very nice. But there you go. There's the hashtag I will be looking at. But yeah, if you have questions about anything, I am happy to answer them. Inktober drawings. So if you're drawing stuff for Inktober, put it there, so this way I can actually go see it. I want to see what people are making. But YouTube makes it hard to share anything. So, thus, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I will go look. I want to see all the things. So post your Inktober drawings there, so this way I can see them. Oh no. Oh, that's fine. I mean, if you don't have anything to post, then naturally don't post there. But for people that would like me to see their Inktober drawings, go post it there. And if you'd just like me to see stuff you make in general that it's not related to Inktober, and not necessarily even related to art, just, you know, some creative thing that you have made, you can use this one. There you go. That's just for a general creative thing. So I don't care if that's animation would qualify. I don't care if it's art or music or writing or whatever else. If you'd like to share it with the community, go post there. And I'll go look. Because I do want to see all the things that people are making. That sounds pretty fantastic to me. Okay. Man, got another long stretch again. Let's see if I can get this in one stroke and make it nice. There we go. Hey, it's all good. Just anything you'd like to share. All right. Sounds good to me. Man. Hair, man. They're just takes a while. I'm realizing that with some stuff I want to start doing in hair again for this particular style, I should probably be doing shadows on a separate layer, but well, too late for that. Alright, well, good night. I hope you're able to sleep well. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I see why I made it short. Okay. I'll leave it short then. I'll just draw a thin one that's longer, I guess. It needs a something. Nah, okay. Congrats. I'm just here trying to work out hair. While I continue to question, like, oh my god, why did I draw so much hair? I ask myself this every time, but I always know the answer. Because it looks nice. And so I will do it again. And again, forever. I regret nothing. But it looks like I'll be able to get through. Just... It's a lot of hair. Sure is. No. Okay. I'll just leave it like that. And I'll go in and try to clean up this last little bit here. Fortunately, I think I can leave most of this pretty dark. It's fine. Okay. But fortunately, I only have a couple of long strands left, and then it's just gonna be back to nice, short, easy bangs. Yay! Before I have to go back and do the other side. Oh. Alas. What happened? Did your pencil die on you again? Oh. Understandable. Bodies are hard. Art is hard in general. But I still think it's worth doing. I don't know. If the mustache was good, maybe it's still worth doing. If you feel it in your heart, maybe it's still worth doing, even though it's hard. That works! But look, I mean, if you really want to draw your friend's OC, you can draw it while I'm here, suffering on drawing hair. The most time-consuming part of my process, and we can suffer together, and it'll be fantastic. But nothing wrong with drawing an apple, too. Because, yep, I'm just going through, making sure that all my triangles are triangling, and that all the shapes look nice and are following the flow of the hair nice, and that everything is nice and smooth. And man, it just takes a long time. Looks great, but it takes a long time. I am glad that I can just look up in the thumbnail and be like, ah, yes. Look how nice the hair looks. It is great. Okay. Almost there. Yeah, this is like the last big clump, and I've already done the top. So I know that once I get this area, that's like a good 2/3 of it done, so that'll be sweet. I still have a little bit in the bangs, and then that bit on the other side. Alright. I will look forward to seeing it. Phew. Okay. Now I just gotta get all the way back up to the top. And then I'll be free. Well, no I won't. I still have to do the other third. Well, yes, I imagine it would look very strange if he shaded the apple but not the mustache. I think that that stylistic choice could be pulled off, but it is... It has to be handled with care. Alright, I don't want this light part to be as high up as this dark part, so I'm gonna make it a little bit lower here. And then smooth it all the way down. Oh ho, so it's gonna be a fancy apple. Does it need one of those special brand stickers too? I don't know what fancy apple brands exist, but... That's what came to mind. I see. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know of brand named apples. I don't really eat fruit, so... But it's what came to mind when I was thinking, oh yes, a very fancy apple. Gonna be extra fancy today. Alright. Gotta say, I'm glad people showed up today, because I run out of things to say so fast when I'm rendering hair. Because I'm just like, yep, that sure is a lot of hair. This sure is an anime girl with, like, 1,000,000 hair. And I have to go through and get all of these shapes done in a way that makes me happy, and it takes a while. So... It is nice. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it is just a lot of repeated shapes here, and I just try to make a point of making sure that they're different sizes. Albeit still very triangular. Just so that this way the hair looks a little bit more random and hair-like, as opposed to stiff and samey. So here I'm just working out the last couple of lumps in this bit, and then I think I've only got a couple more triangles to draw over on this side. Yep. Because I think that these are the last ones here. So this bit, and then whatever's up there. And then I go to the other side and have more hair to draw. Because the hair, it never ends. Never. I am always doing hair forever. It is what it is. Just an endless mountain of hair. I can believe it. Oh, you are blurry. That is no good. There we go. Something like that. That's a little bit better, but now I have to smooth out the triangle again. Oh well. Such is life. Okay. Now I'll just go back and forth on this bit here, and yep, and indeed, this is the top. So this is the last one on this side. My brain just keeps wanting to say, yes, it is the last one, but I'm like, brain, you started it in the middle of the bangs and came this way. You still have to do the other half of the bangs, and then the other half of the side hair, and then later you're gonna have to do the ponytail. And the back hair. But that'll all come at the end. Like I said, the hair, it never ends. It will always come back to haunt me. Always. Just what it does. Okay. So there we go. One side of the head done until I add highlights and loose strands and stuff. Now back over here. I actually kind of like doing this because then I can look at the half that I finished and the half that's not done and be like, ah, yes. This is why I spent so long drawing hair. No, it seems like a reasonable tool. Admittedly, I don't know very much about traditional art, because I am basically all digital all the time. I do love me some computers. Okay. So, back to spikes. Back to shadow spikes. Back to triangles. Back to just all the little things here. Oh man. I guess I never actually left, so I guess I can't really say back to it, but at least they are short triangles now. Makes them a little bit easier to draw. Alas, it is looking like I will not be getting into face today, but that's okay. I'll have the hair done. I am determined to mostly finish off the hair. Alright, good luck. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. I want to make sure that it's flowing with the direction of the hair a little bit more nicely here. So her hair is blowing slightly to the left. So I want to give it a little bit of that leftward momentum. Currently, I just don't think it's there, so I'm kind of reworking this a little bit. It's like I don't like to change things too much when I'm this zoomed in, but sometimes it just needs a little something. And this is one of those times. I don't think there's any harm in changing your mind. I just always am a little afraid to do it when I'm really, really zoomed in, because then I don't see the whole picture, and sometimes I can make very silly choices. When all I see is this tiny, tiny piece relative to, you know, the whole thing. The little thumbnail I've got up there can only do so much for me. Let's see, I guess I'll make this one a little shorter. I don't want it to be the same length as this one. Did you get it? Is the apple now extra fancy? Okay, so I'll get this going here. I want this one to be longer than this, and thinner than this. Oh man. Are you gonna upload it so I can see it? Or take a picture of it? Look, that's the joy of meme art. Dying of laughter is like the best part. Oh, okay. It's okay, I probably won't be looking at it until a little bit after stream because, well, I got some hair to draw for one, and for two, I need to finish editing my video. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's okay, I'm just trying to do things to keep myself sane while rendering hair. At least there's no fur. Well, no, there is fur in this design. Shoot. I was gonna say, at least there's no fur, but I was like, wait, no, there is. She has a fur collar. So yeah, I'm gonna be going slightly crazy when it's time to render the fur, too. Oh no. I just forgot about it because I haven't drawn it yet. you know what? I'll just leave that one flat. It's a little weird, but I think it works here, so I'm gonna roll with it. Oh, nice. See, like I said, it wasn't too late. You can totally do something quick for Inktober. I do think drawing challenges like this are more just about having fun rather than necessarily making anything good. So meme art is perfect. Sweet. I go post it to a Planckera ink, and I will take a look later tonight. So please, anyone watching, post your Inktober drawings there so this way I can find them and see them. And I will be happy. Because then I will get to see cool things. And I would like to see more cool things. This world needs more cool things. Phew. Okay, so once again, I have almost reached the end. The end is in sight. This is the end of the bangs. So I'm almost there. Then I just have the clump of hair kind of hanging on her shoulder there. But I won't be free, I guess. I still have highlights and maybe some additional shading I would like to try. I had some things going for this style a long time ago that I totally forgot about until I reminded myself recently, and I would like to try them again. Alright. Well, I will take a look at them later today. So I am already looking forward to it. Okay. Planckera is for sharing any creative thing. So art, writing, music, whatever you feel like. Just, all I ask is that it's something you made. So not like sharing something cool you found on the internet, but sharing stuff you made. And then Planckera Ink specifically is for Inktober. It's okay, I'll go pin my announcement on Twitter. I don't know how to pin things on Instagram, so I don't know how that's gonna work, but I like barely use social media at all, so alright. So I only kind of know how it works. Admittedly, sometimes I'm not sure how people are able to use it. I've tried a couple of times to just post whatever intrusive thoughts invade my head onto Twitter, and I'm just like... This makes me incredibly nervous. It's like, if I post this, it's gonna be out there on the internet for everyone to see. So I don't know. I just feel weird about it. So I never really learned how these things work. That and I'm just like already old. So all right, awesome. I will go check it out when I have a moment later tonight. For now, I am determined to finish this hair, so I want to get through it. I don't want to be spending 4 episodes on hair, man. I still remember when I was doing the Vtuber model rigging of some official art from a game, that I think I spent like probably well over 100 episodes just doing the hair. It was a nightmare. But to be fair, it was very complicated hair, and I am still a beginner rigger, so... But still, that was an adventure. No, I don't mind hair. I really don't. I do think that it looks nice when it's done very well. And the way I tend to do hair is very, very simple. So, it's just time consuming because there's always a lot of it. Anime girls and they're just massive heads of hair. There we go, that works. Yes. Yes. Miku does have an incredible amount of hair. But it all does look very nice. It just takes a while to draw. I do not like the curve on this. This curve is terrible, so I'm gonna zoom out and fix it. Boop. Boop. Okay, that's better. Fortunately, it's also easy to fix. But I just had to get it looking right. So down I go. This is like the last long bit before I guess I go back down here on the other layer. But oh man. And then I might, because it's blowing like this, I might add a few loose strands here and there. Some going just on the outside of the hair and some going on top, so that'll require a little bit more additional shading. So I still got some work to do. And I haven't even done the highlights yet. I'll probably do the highlights first. There we go. Okay. Cool. One more clump! Almost there! So I tell myself, let's go. What is this shape? Well, that's a start. Let's fix that. There we go. I can do it. Don't worry, I got this. I gotta fix this part here because I don't think it looks very good. It is the epitome of blob. And you don't want blobs in your hair. That's a sign that something has gone horribly, horribly wrong. Okay, there we go. Blobs exercised. Let's go smooth all this out now. Nothing left to do but smooth. Not copy and paste what? Because I mean the hair on this side doesn't look like the hair on this side, so I can't really copy it. Yeah. It would totally throw off the perspective, so I can't use something as powerful as copy-paste willy-nilly. It's like I did use copy and paste to get the, like, garden fence thing in the background. Like, that was fine. But not so much here. I just gotta do it. It just gotta be done. It is a Wednesday. What's special about Wednesday? Oh, I see. My days of the week aren't that different from each other, so Wednesday is just another day for me. It's kind of like when people make the joke about the villain going, "Ah, yes, for you it was the worst day of your life. For me, it was just Tuesday." Like, nope. Wednesday, pretty much the same as any other day. Just let this guy go boop and boop. There we go. Just a little extra texture there. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. I think I'll just leave this one flat. For some reason, I just didn't like that part flat. I don't know why. But I didn't. I am trying to understand these things better, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Sometimes I just see something and I know, yes, that is incorrect. Must fix. So like here, I'm thinning out all of this because I noticed that I had a loose strand coming out here. And I was like, yes. I have to fix that because otherwise it's gonna look strange. There we go. The first clump is done. So now down here. Right, just try to get these nice smooth strokes. If my hand cooperates. The hand is doing decently well cooperating with me today. There we go. Okay. Alright, and then this guy needs some little strandy bits coming out. That'll help it. I don't know why I didn't put them in the initial shading, but that's fine. I can do it now. Okay, and then I'm actually going to come back up to the top and get the other side here before I continue down. There's just one big ol' shadow here. Man, it's an hour ago. I was like, yeah, I think I'm drawing this fast enough that I'll be able to work on her face a little bit. Won't that be great? And then here I am. An hour later and I'm like, God, I always forget how time-consuming hair is. It keeps happening. I always have to remember that I am never free from hair. It's just always gonna take me like an entire stream just to do hair. Okay. I do like the way it looks, though. I do think it looks quite good. So, it makes it worth it in the end. Okay, now I can just go all the way down here. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great day too. And I will definitely look at your mustachioed apple. Okay, so let's see here. Phew. It's going. I guess I'll do the highlights before I do any further loose strands. Although no, if I'm going to do loose strands, that might affect where I put the highlights, so I should do them first. Okay. I have convinced myself. I have convinced myself. I'll do it in that order. Alright, guess I'll go smooth out this shadow before I head down to the bottom there. These are kind of connected. So I don't want to shade one part without getting the other part. So it just makes sense to do it from the top. There we go. Okay, so here, let's see, how do I want to handle this next part? I guess I've already got the strand here, or the shadow here looking pretty good. Right here still looks a little blobby, so I should fix that first, actually. Since I had already declared this part done. Okay, so now, yeah, I think I'll come back down here and do it from here. Just swoop. Swoop. Endlessly and forever. Okay, I think I'll add another little light spot there. I think that'll look nice. Just add a little bit more hair texture here. Before I go in and smooth everything out again. Make sure everything is tapering off into very nice triangles. There we go. Alright, now we're back into bumpy territory. But I think I can just smooth this nice and easily. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see, here is actually still a little bit blobby, so I should fix this. Just the outside here. Got a few blobs going on here that I need to work out. There we go. Blobs always just terrible for hair. You know, for some reason, rendering all of this is just reminding me that yesterday I introduced my kids to Slither.io, and they had a pretty good time. I think it's just a combination of blobs and then hair being just generally snake-like, if you squint. But my daughter got really frustrated at it when it just wasn't reading her mind, and she's just like, the computer's broken, it's not doing what I want. And I just told her to get good. Because that was the answer there. Nothing was broken. She just has to get good. And she was getting mad because she was bad. But it was a pretty good time. My son has been interested in computers and games and stuff, but my daughter really hasn't, and I've been a little bit sad about that. Computers and games are my husband and I's main hobbies, so... It would be convenient if they are interested too, because then we can do a bunch of cool stuff together. But it's okay, she's not, we'll find other cool stuff to do together. I'm sure it's out there, and who knows? Maybe as she gets bigger, she'll introduce me to more cool stuff that I wouldn't have done otherwise without her. Okay. So I think this is the last strand that I have to shade here before I go in and add my volume and loose strands and stuff. I kind of like that bit there, so I'm going to keep it. Hand had a good idea, so we'll let Hand take credit for that one. Okay. I think this might be the last shadow. Yay! I'm almost free. There we go. Phew! Hair, man! Alright, let's go make this look really good. Stretch. I've got like 20 minutes. So we'll see how much I can do, but I'll do my best. Let's see, I kind of want some just blowing across, kind of like that. Just better. And then I will, you know, shade it proper in a little bit. So first I'm just gonna get them in, let them exist, and then they will get smoothed. But yeah, this is how the hair's been looking in my head. There was always gonna be a little bit more going on here. But I just had to draw everything else first. It would have been too complicated to do all of this at once. So, here we are. Let's see. I just want some little strands coming out here. I just always feel like this step really makes the hair. But I always like to do it at the end, so that this way I know where to put things. Because a lot of the time, I just feel like if they're put in the wrong spot, it just makes it look messy, as opposed to fluffy. So it is a dangerous tech. You gotta be careful with it. So yeah, something like this. Just add a little bit more flying around. I figure it's getting very loose over here, and yeah, I don't really want any in her face. So that'll not be like that. And then I'll have a couple just kind of flying across here, I guess. No, I don't like it there. And I don't like it there either. So I think this is probably sufficient. So I'm gonna zoom in and properly clean all of this. So the idea is just to have a little bit extra blowing around. And I might add some additional shadows here. Looks like I might not quite have time to do the highlights, but that's okay. I will do the highlights first thing next time. And we'll give her a face and effects back at the very end here. Okay, this side I want this line to be a little bit thinner. And I do want the line to be smooth as always, so I gotta spend some time smoothing it. So, you know, kinda back to doing more hair things with hair. It is what it is. But it does make things look pretty nice, so I just always like to do it. And then at the end I typically do have to go back in and add a few more shadows here and there. But it's fine. It is for the best. Oh, I don't have the layer locked. And just like any other bit of hair, I do shade them. They do look better that way. And I generally keep it a little bit looser than I otherwise would. Let's see, I don't like this one, so... And I want to change the shape of you. Let you flow out a little bit more nicely here. Okay, I have to change the shape of you via adding more, not taking away. So here we go. I may or may not end up merging these down, I'm not sure yet. But I might merge all the hair layers together. But I'll just go ahead and draw them first. That seems like a useful thing. One step at a time, as always. So I think these are going to be the most time-consuming ones. I don't think the other ones are going to be that bad, so should be good. But these little guys, yeah, they're going to take a minute here. Just because I do want to make sure that they're nice and smooth and all that good stuff. But I do think the hair looks better with them. I don't think I did this on Rooney, and I probably should have. I don't think I'm gonna go back and fix it, though. But these are just little things I've been wanting to try here, just to try to make things look a little bit better. Okay. I was gonna say, oh, that actually looks pretty alright, but nope, needs a bit more there. Just a bit more. And then I can kind of define where I want the strand to end, and I think I want it to be, like, here. Me accidentally hitting the preserve alpha button instead of, unlocking the layer. Whoops. Okay. And I want this to be just a little bit smoother right through there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and smooth out this just a little bit more, and then I think that'll be good for these little strands. Okay, and so I drew one out here, it looks like. So I'll give him a little light through here. Guess I should go ahead and lock the layer so I don't color outside the lines. And I'll just kind of define where he's coming out here. I think something like that looks pretty good. That seems about right. And I think it's fine for this bit to be thin. Just thin little shadows there. Okay. Then let me go look at some of the other ones. I think you're good. You, I obviously need to clean up quite a lot here. This poor little guy, just so messy here. Okay, yeah, this should look pretty good once I clean it. I like it. It is kind of getting confused right here, though, so I think I'm actually gonna make it come out like this. Just so that this way it's clear where the strand starts and ends, and it doesn't look like it's part of this shadow. It looks like it's coming out of that shadow. And I am about out of time here, so I might not actually be able to finish all these, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well. I do think that they look nice, so if I don't finish them here, I will certainly finish them next time. Because yeah, I still need to do some additional shading on the hair and stuff as well. Ah, the joy of hair. There's so much hair. And I can just never escape. Gonna be shading hair forever and ever and ever. But it's alright. It looks good, so I say it's worth the effort. I do. I do actually like doing hair for the most part. It's just time consuming. But it really does make things look so much better when it's done right. So that's why I consider it worth the extra effort to just go through and really, really dig into it. Why I always will. Even if it does drive me slightly insane. It's okay. I only go slightly insane. I don't need my full sanity, it's all good. I think art is probably a little bit better when the artist is slightly insane anyway. If everything was normal and conventional, it'd be a lot less interesting. Okay, so let's see. Do I have any other big ones? Looks like I have one down here, but I don't like it, so... Oh, you're the strand. Okay. It's just here that I don't like then. This one looks good. So this one gets to live. This one gets to live. This one, however, will die. It does not look good, so it does not get to live. That's how it works. Then I accidentally erased part of this one, so I just kind of have to go back and fix it. It's fine. Not a big deal. Then I do think all the hair over here looks good. I do think I do want a loose strand here. I killed the one, but I can put it back. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and let it run just a little bit more. I'm going to redraw the whole thing, actually. I like it, but it needs a new form. There we go. Now it has a more perfect form. Okay. And I think the rest look pretty good. Let's go ahead and just add some basic shadows here. And actually, before I do that, I want to make this a little bit less angular here. There we go. That's perfect. So I just want a few shadows here and there. Actually, I don't want to do it on the strands layer. I want to do it on the hair layer. Although, based on where this one was, this has to be done on the strands layer, so... I had the layer locked, and I was like, oh yeah, if I have the layer locked and I'm able to draw on this, then drawing underneath isn't gonna work. Alright. So I'll let a few shadows kind of exist here. And I think that's about all I got time for. So it looks like I was able to finish most of the strands here, so that is fortunate. Oh, right, because this is the more hair layer, of course. Okay, so let's see. Does any other... Let's see. Here, I want to kind of get rid of that bit. Put just a little shadow right there. And a little one right here. And I think that is good. So that's the hair basics done, I think. Right here's a little bit lumpy. I want to fix that real quick. I really need to stop, though. Got stuff I need to do. always unfortunate. I'd like to keep drawing, but do indeed got stuff I gotta do. One of the things is editing my Inktober video for today, so definitely want to make sure I get that done. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. I think that's good. The hair is nice and blowy. Let's go turn the highlights on. Doesn't look like I'll have to move them around too much, so I think that's still mostly looking good. I might add some light extra strands too when the time comes. But for now, let's give her all her features. I'm gonna go ahead and fix the color of her coat. Where's the coat back here? There it is. There we go, just so that this way the picture will be in the state that it'll look like when it's done, maybe. Alright, there we go. So it'll be something like that. So today was hair and anti-claustrophobia handling, with hair just always taking me an eternity. It is what it is. But I will stop here for today, so thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow. Post your stuff in my Inktober tag. I want to see it. Bye-bye.